So, welcome to the Art of Mastering Health. My name is Jennifer Owen. I am a certified fitness trainer, Pilates instructor, and nutrition coach. I'm also an international marketing director with the Juice Plus Company, and this is sponsored by the Juice Plus Company. So, I grew up in Montreal. I moved to Toronto when I was 17, and I worked for the government for a decade before pursuing a career as a fitness trainer. I found myself very interested in helping people get healthier through lifestyle. I loved that concept. It resonated with me. It made sense to me. I'm not somebody who, follows radical diets or rigid, workout programs. But I've always been fascinated about longevity and quality of life for years. And as a 50-plus-year-old woman now, I get really excited about the possibilities of actually helping people prevent disease at a cellular level. So I hope that something I say here tonight will resonate with you and you'll reach out to the person who invited you to get connected to our community because we are really super excited about the work that we get to do. So, one simple change, I love this concept. It's basically habit stacking. It's a really good starting point for big payoffs in your health and wellness journey. And it might be just drinking more water or going for a walk. I'm going to touch on a few of these things along the way, highlighting the reality of what healthy is right now for the status quo of people. I'm going to share some simple solutions and resources and even our healthy community because you're going to want to know about what we do and who we are. And then I'm going to share with you some information about Juice Plus and why, as a certified fitness trainer, I do recommend it to my clients. But, listen, as a postmenopausal woman, I want you to really understand the essence of these functional food powders as my number one recommended nutritional support tool. So let's dive. Again, lots of information here. Are you surviving or thriving? I know as I get older, I'm really fascinated by the difference between survival mode and thriving mode. And I see so many people who are too tired to have much fun at all in life. Like they're just making it through. They're dragging their days. They have no energy to fulfill any mission in life, never mind a dream. And I find that health is really the tipping point, and it's a priority that usually comes after a diagnosis, unfortunately. So again, I want you to think about like, through as I share through this webinar, maybe it's yourself or your spouse, or maybe it's your sister or your mother or even your kids, because we're all everyday performers. And when you look at this screen here, where are you? Ask yourself very honestly, on a scale of 1 to 10, does your energy and health today allow you to live the life that you want to the fullest? And I would love to hear from you in the chat. So please share. And if you're not yet muted, please could you mute? That would be great. It just helps us to have a clear recording here. So our community has a mission to arm ourselves so that we are resilient towards chronic disease and autoimmune diseases, and eating more plants like fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, whole grains and seeds. That's really our message. And why? Because we have thousands of studies that show that if you want to live longer, live better, if you want to have healthier bones, a stronger immune system, healthier gut, all this can come when you add more plants to your daily diet. And it also means that we get to experience life at a higher level of performance, right? And that's super exciting because when we can do things, we create memories and we live a full life. And I just want to be very, very clear. This is a no judgment zone, okay? So wherever you happen to be on your dietary preferences or whatever, is the most important thing for you right now, I just want you to know it's all good. My big message here is that, like people just need to be eating more plants. And that's what I want to kind of, imprint on you this evening. So this is a really great documentary. It's called The Blue Zones, and it's really focusing on 9 ways to help you live longer. So there's a movie, there's a whole movement around this actually. But when you look at the habits, it's downshifting daily, having purpose, moving naturally. Like I don't need to tell you how to, like, you literally could do this presentation because these are common sense habits, right? And this is the whole concept of habit stacking healthy habits. But the Mediterranean diet has shown over and over again cultures and lifestyles of the world where people live the longest. These are the ones that eat a lot of plants, like the blue zones. 95% of their calories actually come from plants. And this is backed by research, guys. Again, over and over. There are some pretty simple and basic health habits, and the people who practice these health habits consistently live the longest and live the healthiest. And this is the talk tonight, okay? So a simple habit like walking, there was a recent study which showed that just going for a walk in the forest improved your immune system. So It springs around the corner. We're going to want to get outside, get some sunshine, reset your circadian rhythm, and make your own vitamin D. All right. The reality is that, we've got real life challenges. So when you think about how many fruits and vegetables are you eating in a day, what does that look like? And even like when you purchase your Whole Foods, a lot of people just don't even know what to do with them. I think of students, right, when they are leaving home, or, there's a lot of adults who don't really know how to explore food, beautiful dishes that you can make. And before, we forget to cut them up and eat them, they're kind of going bad in our fridge. And that happens to me more often than I'd like to admit, quite frankly. The good news is that we have an amazing community that's super excited about teaching you, showing you the way. Because here's a hard fact. Less than 3 servings of fruits and vegetables a day puts one at risk for illness due to nutrition deficit. That's kind of scary. So, and I want to just say, like, there's real reasons why we're not eating enough between time, cost, taste, quality, availability. They're valid reasons, like they're valid. This is why Juice Plus made so much sense to me years ago, 25 years ago, actually. So, the truth about our food, is your produce experiencing jet lag? Yeah. And I mean, I don't think a lot of people think about this, but it's crazy how much mileage our food has on it. And the next time you go grocery shopping, I want you to pay attention to that because years and years ago, I brought a bag of apples home, and my daughter was like, "Why would you buy these? They're from I don't know where they were from, like New Zealand or something like that." And I started just kind of paying attention. So when we know better, we can do better, right? And then, of course, the quality of our produce isn't what it used to be. It's not anymore. We used to be able to drink from the hose, and I grew up on mac and cheese. And again, the reality is that these foods aren't even what they used to be. Mac and cheese in a box back then was very different than the mac and cheese that is today. So it's a different world. So our bodies are smart machines, though, and that's really exciting. That should get you excited, and that's really our sign of hope here because they are designed to heal itself, but it cannot do that efficiently if we don't give it what it understands as fuel, and that's, real whole foods, not artificial, dead, processed stuff. Okay, so how fruits and vegetables can help? Well, when it relates to your heart, it helps to lower blood pressure and reduce the risk of heart disease and stroke. For cancer, it actually may reduce the risk of cancer, including intestinal, bowel, thyroid, pancreatic, and lung cancer. I'm telling you, there is so much research on this. Blood sugar helps your blood sugar get back in check and help to control that appetite. Your bone health, it's rich in calcium. Think of your greens and other vitamins, which actually help to prevent osteoporosis. And then, of course, mental health. There's so much, again, research showing that eating a diet full of rich and fruits and vegetables actually helps to lower the risk of cognitive decline. And I want to point this out. I really like this picture. Okay, so this is a lot of people focus on the macros. Your fats, proteins, and carbs. And I mean, gosh, as a trainer, this is the conversation that we used to have with our clients when we first met them for the consult. It's so much more than that, guys. An apple has approximately 10,000 nutrients that we know of. We're still learning what's in our food. This is exciting. A multivitamin has about 32 fragmented vitamins. So this is a multivitamin label. This is one of 12 pages of what's in an apple. There's no comparison, guys, because this is still isolated, synthetic, and fragmented. This is whole and it has so much in it. The synergistic effect, it's amazing and it's incredible. And again, this is why fruits and vegetables is sexy and is exciting. So, one of the concepts that I'm really proud to represent in our community as a fitness trainer is the idea of going beyond macros. The number one question I was asked by clients during fitness assessments was, how much protein, fats, and carbs should I be eating? And they were almost always trying to decrease their carbs and fat and increase their protein. I've heard this for decades and honestly still do today. But what if I told you that it's not about the macros? What if I told you that we need to think more about the micros? Because what we've learned is that true nutrition goes way beyond macros. Think of macros like this. I love this. I created this little image for, I think it was a grade 7 class that I was doing a presentation for. But carbs is your gas, fats is your coolant, and protein is your oil. Okay. Now, because your engine is truly the heart and soul of your body, it actually needs more than just the macros. It needs the micronutrition to operate in its finest form, much like your body. which is regular maintenance. So in nutrition, the macros are super important for building muscle, fueling, and giving you energy, but we generally get enough of them. The micronutrients are the microscopic, so the micro, things like flavonoids, carotenoids, polyphenols, live enzymes, vitamins, minerals. These are so important because they condition and heal us at a cellular level. Nothing beats food for this impact. Nothing, 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 nothing. Okay. That is, I want you to just remember that. There is no thing that can top food for what it does for our bodies at a cellular level. And here's the magic. There's thousands of them in every fruit and vegetable, thousands and thousands of micronutrients in every single, like whether it's a tomato or an orange or a carrot. So to truly care for your body's vehicle, you must focus on the gut because it's the second brain that greatly impacts all other systems of the body. And here, I just want to point out this study that was done. It was actually done on, dried fruits and vegetable concentrates. And what it showed was that the high fiber meal replacement and dried fruits and vegetables altered the intestinal microbiota and improved glucose clearance and suggested that there was a possibly able to reduce the risk of insulin resistance. And there's your, if you're kind of a nerd and you want to go research that, then go check this out. There's the link to go check it out. It's incredible. Food is your friend, and it is the best thing that you can put into your body that's going to actually do something. So scientists are now talking about micronutrients in our foods as in the millions. How many millions are there in fruits and vegetables? So when we talk about what to eat, instead of worrying about serving sizes, think about eating the rainbow. Like how many different colors? Because, there's 10,000 different micronutrients in the red, and then another 10,000 in the green, and then in the yellow, and then in the purple. So imagine if you took the fruit, vegetable, and berry blend of our Juice Plus capsules every single day. And remember, 1,000 times each color. Like it's amazing. It's like that's a health impact, guys. And here's a little fun fact. Onions have an enzyme that actually prevents cancer, and that's not in any other fruit or vegetable. So you do want to make sure you're eating your onions. This is why it's so important to get variety because there's certain foods that really, do good things and we need it. So, and then of course there's the synergy impact of it all. So when you partner, the best example I could think of was when you eat beans with a tomato sauce. There's a reason why chili is made with beans and tomato sauce because the tomatoes help your body to better absorb the iron in those beans. So if you're somebody who struggles with iron, get more beans and make sure you got some tomatoes or oranges or something in there. Okay. Your nutrition plan should check all the boxes here. So lowering inflammation systemically, decreasing oxidation and free radical damage, improving circulation, vascular capacity and metabolism, enhancing muscle tissue repair and recovery, optimizing gut health, balance your immune function, improve cognitive function and acute attention and focus and executive function, and enhance skin and gum health. And I don't know about you, but you know what? Is what you're doing right now, does it check all those boxes off? Okay, like really, like check that for yourself. Because when we understand that our beauty actually comes from within, that's a whole other conversation. But again, you got to start inside. So the question is, how are you going to make your nutrition plan check all these boxes? Really, it's the question we all ask ourselves. And it's going to have to include plants, and it's going to have to include plants of every color. So our community is really great at helping you do this. So there's three things we focus on. Number one, we start off by helping you get more fruits and vegetables into your body consistently, affordably, every single day. Consistency matters here. Number two, we're going to show you how you can, give you ideas on what you can make for breakfast and lunch and dinner and snacks. So you're not kind of wondering, what the heck am I supposed to do with this eggplant? Like we've got a really great sharing community. And then the third is we're going to give you some ideas on what you can substitute for the things that aren't serving your health. And then we are going to show you how, what are inflammatory foods and processed foods so that we're going to kind of squeeze out those things. So we're going to help you squeeze them out so that you don't have to, stress over a restrictive way of eating. But through education, we learn a lot, right? And through education, we're inspired. So maybe some of you are wondering, like, what is she talking about? This juice stuff and these plant powders. I grew up in the 70s. I don't know if you grew up in the 70s, just throw Jetsons in the chat because I grew up watching this and I'm telling you, they had it, man. I remember watching this show and they were zipping everywhere. Their food was in a capsule. That's what they did. And so it's literally what Juice Plus is. We have taken the water out and we've, got these fruits and vegetables and put into a capsule. So again, it makes it super convenient. And if you take a popular brand of vitamin, I'm not going to say the name, then maybe it's time for you to trade your synthetic tablet for an organic, all natural, food-based supplement. The vitamin that's supposed to be strengthening your immune system and protecting you from illness could actually be damaging your health with toxic ingredients like dyes, and sodium benenzite. There's silicone and titanium and like the ingredients that are in some vitamins are or any supplements actually are kind of crazy. So please, if nothing else, go and turn the labels around the foods you're eating and the supplements you're taking so that you can learn, what you really don't want in your body. But this is what it looks like. I get so excited talking about Juice Plus. I mean, this is rainbow, man. Like, I mean, I want you to go into the chat and tell me which foods you actually ate today. And have you eaten, at least seven of them? Because, 7 to 13 is what we're supposed to be getting every single day. And that's for a healthy body. But if you're going through disease or if you're pregnant or if you're aging, we need more. Okay. The thing about Juice Plus is that it's readily absorbable right into our blood, and it's scientifically proven to improve the health status of our DNA, promote lean muscle mass, positively strengthen the lining of our cell walls, provides plant fuel for intense workouts and recovery. And just as an FYI, if you went and bought just one serving of all these fruits and vegetables, even if you could find black currants, because I'm going to tell you, I've done this before. I used to host wellness parties and I would put all these in a basket. And this berry blend, it's actually really hard to find all of these. I think maybe I found two of them. So, you would spend no less than $100 every single day if you tried to eat the variety that you're getting here in Juice Plus. And I'm going to tell you this right here, the fruit, vegetable, and berry blend, this is $3.33 a day. And I don't know about you, but we are walking a cancer journey in our home, and this matters. You are worth $3.33 a day. Your health is worth it. But with Juice Plus, you can take all three of these plus the amazing oils. I love the Armegas because you can put them on their face. And I want you to hang around for the very end because I got a guest speaker, Zelda, who's going to share her story. And she is famous for her facials. She does them every single week. But really, you're looking at less than a cup of coffee in terms of the cost. So science shows us that there are over 25,000 phytochemicals in our food, giving synergistic effect even with the smallest amounts, guys. It's not about quantity. Remember, it's synergy here. That really is the essence of Juice Plus. It's the synergy of all these plant powders. But broken DNA, so it matters. In the previous slide, I mentioned that Juice Plus helps to protect DNA. Broken DNA causes coding errors in the body. That's what you need to understand. So if we can help protect that DNA, then we are on the right track to longevity and health. And systemic inflammation impacts every system of the body. So when we can reduce the inflammation in the body, basically we're putting the body in a state of being healthy and healing. And I love what Dr. Du Bois said. Now, he was a board certified, you could read his credentials there, but in a nutshell, he was one of the first doctors that worked with AIDS patients back when it first came on the scene. And so he was an infectious disease specialist. That was his title. And he said there's nothing available anywhere else in the world with or without a prescription that has been clinically proven to do what these capsules do in the human body. And there's our studies, guys. Again, if you're nerdy, go talk to the person who invited you to learn more because it was actually the research that made me say yes to this. So, you know what? I wish, this is not my journey with my kids. Juice Plus, actually, these little chews, they were the tool that we used to teach our daughters. We have two daughters who are now in university, but we use these chews to teach them to want to make healthier choices. Oh my gosh, it allowed us to give them space. So some days they would say yes to the broccoli on their plate, and some days they would say no. And there was nobody wants to go toe to toe with a toddler over food, man. You're not going to win that battle. It is the one thing that kids actually can choose to do, right? You'll force them to go to school, to grandma's, to go to bed early, all the things. But they can be like, nope, it's not going in. And that's so, so frustrating. I really didn't want that to be my story. So for me, I'm really grateful for these chews because today, again, my daughters live away at university and they are plant strong eaters, but it doesn't just reflect what we eat. It actually reflects into translates into like the company they keep, the way they spend their time, how they take care of themselves. It's amazing. But anyway, I love this because with an adult order of capsules, kids get the free chews all the way up to 25 years old, my friends. So yes, my two daughters still get free Juice Plus. Okay, so our omegas, I touched on it. Azelda's going to share a little bit more, but this is 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. There is nothing like it. There is no fish in here, so we bypass the fish because the algae is the source. And our algae that we grow for the Juice Plus company is actually grown outside of the ocean, which means it is not contaminated with micro plastics and heavy metals, guys. Because again, how many people take an omega? If you eat an omega every day, go in the chat and say omega. Because here's the thing about eating omegas. If you're eating an omega every day and the oils that are in there are made from big fish, just so you know, there are heavy metals in that. Even the little fish, there's less if you're using krill oil, for example. But that has a cumulative effect. I don't want any of that. If I'm going to put something in my body, I want it to be good. It can't, there's no room for there to be, because you know what? I'm still going to have the chocolate bar. I'm still going to have, a bag of chips. But I understand that there's no health benefits from those things. But when it comes to my supplements, I'm very particular about this. It has to be the best of the best of the best because I'm not going to spend my hard-earned money to put something in my body that compromises my health in just the least. It's not happening. So anyhow, I love our omegas because, and by the way, you don't get fishy burps. Okay, our protein powder. You know what? A lot of people worry about their protein. What I love about the Complete is that it contains all 9 essential amino acids. And remember, essential means your body cannot make them yourself, so you have to eat them. And Complete has all of them. So, in the States, they have the protein, sorry. This is Perform in the States, and then this is our Complete in Canada. This one has a little bit more protein in it. But again, both delicious. We've got recipe books that you can, enjoy so many things from protein balls. Actually, today I put it in my yogurt and it was amazing. I mixed the chocolate with Greek yogurt. So it was like a chocolate yogurt and it was so high in protein. I was like, yay, with some nuts. It was delicious. Okay, so 3 things that I want you to remember. Juice Plus is made from real food, okay? These powders have an actual nutrition label, not a supplement label. So that's really important to set us apart from other products that are out there. To date, we have about 51 research papers that are published in top medical nutrition journals. And these are the most respected in the world. There is no other company that comes close to our numbers, guys. I know that there's a lot of products out there, but I'm going to tell you, Juice Plus is we're the leader. We're the pioneer in this. We've been doing it for over 30 years now. And recently a friend asked me to look at her product because, she was trying to, get me to try it. And I'm always, honestly, I love to support, my friends and stuff, but the problem is that there was 3 studies on this particular product and they were all done on mice, not on humans. And I, again, remember what I told you, I am not compromising my health, to put anything in there. If it's a supplement that's supposed to make me feel good and contribute to my health, then it's got to have the highest standards. So again, ask the person who invited you here for more information on our research because it's very impressive. And as a trainer myself, the research is the reason I'm here today. All right, so let's dive a little bit into, how it's made. So the story behind how these plant powders came to be is pretty amazing. There are beautiful farmers who grow specifically for the Juice Plus company, and these farmers take great, great pride in their crops. They are carefully controlled for how they're grown, ensuring the best possible conditions. Everything is allowed to be vine ripened. They water wash it right on site and then they flash freeze it to lock in the nutrition. Then they pulverize it, so it's the seeds, the peels, the leaves, it's everything. I don't know about you, but I don't eat the peel of a lemon because it doesn't taste very good. But anyways, it's like kind of like a mush. It's actually dried at a cool temperature to maintain all that nutrition. And then it's mixed with together all the powders and then put into a tapioca capsule. So this is 100% vegan, okay, including the capsule itself. And then of course it's shipped right to your door and you eat it. So it's pretty simple, right? I love it. It doesn't get any simpler than that. This is a little snippet of our community. We really have a lot of fun with what we do. Things that we've done, like we did a Mother's Day reset dinner. We do a lot of salad in a jar parties or Luminate parties, which is our delicious beverage. But, we believe that medical checkups are not a substitute for healthy lifestyle choices that, we can do much more in our daily habits. So really it's the variety and the synergy and the consistency of, eating whole foods every single day, even if it's just a little bit of each color, guys. So something like your stir fry or your salad or your fruit salad or your smoothie even. Getting more colors in matters because we know that there are a lot of things going on in the body and things that Juice Plus, does that we can't even see, that we don't really even know. I mean, I could blow your mind with a story here right now. I mentioned that my husband's going through the cancer journey right now. Well, his tumors are shrinking and they're shrinking fast, and his medical team is blown away. They don't know he's eating Juice Plus, but they're just like, they're amazed, and it's pretty incredible, and it's exciting, and it's hope, and it's just, I mean, if you've ever been touched by cancer, you know what I'm talking about. So here's the thing, with Juice Plus you get to learn lots of things. We like to teach you how to, eat more things even outside of Juice Plus, so that you can eat the best and you can be the best in your day to day, and not have that gap in your nutrition. So cookbooks galore. Connect with the person who invited you. They'll be happy to share with you. Something to be noted here is that the Juice Plus is so well respected that the United States Performance Center, which is a global human performance center of excellence in Charlotte, North Carolina, they chose the Juice Plus company to provide the macronutrition for their athletes, the macro and micronutrition for the family. And they have a state-of-the-art training systems that are in place. And combining this, they have a protocol for their athletes that includes the Juice Plus nutritional line. Pretty cool. I mean, their standards are high. I thought mine were high. Their standards are definitely high. So you know what? Like, at the same protocol that these athletes are enjoying, we get to enjoy it too. Like I get to enjoy the same nutritional protocol as Olympic athletes. And to me, like, this is the best thing as a personal trainer that I can do with my individual clients. Like, get them started on Juice Plus because it's the one simple change that makes them feel much better. And now that they're, feeling better, they're willing to exercise. And now that they're willing to exercise, they can practice stress management and meditation, and it trickles down. It empowers, it enables. When I first learned about Juice Plus, it was from one of my 17-year-old clients. She was a diabetic, newly diagnosed, and she mentioned this word. And, I got curious. That's all it took, guys. I thought it was pretty cool that it was food in a capsule. And, it was scientifically backed. So that's when I was like, pen in my hand, let's do this. And so we know that there's a big focus on helping high-level athletes become plant forward or more plant strong. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they're vegan or vegetarian. It just means that they're learning that adding more plants increases longevity of their career. It reduces injuries. It gives them quicker recovery time. And it actually can be the competitive edge that they need to win. Who doesn't want to win? I want to win at life. I don't need to run a marathon or anything, but I want to win at life. And here's a great question here. If Juice Plus can do this for a sick body, what more can it do for a healthy body? Nutrition is the source of protection, my friends. Medical treatments are, sometimes not always successful. Juice Plus is hope. Like I said, we've got 51 research papers, whether you're a smoker, a healthcare professional, elderly population, athletic, gentlemen, children. We've got these studies done on real people. So aging is not lost youth, but a new stage of opportunity and strength. And with that, I want to invite my friend Zelda to come on, unmute, and
Hello.
where are you, Zelda?
Oh,
Can I see you? Here, I'm going to
I,
stop share. And Zelda, I'm going to spotlight you. Can you share with us your
uh,
story?
my story. You don't have that picture up anymore.
I did, but now we want to see you.
Ah, well, I thought you could show that. The first one with me and the short hair was 3 years ago. I was going for walks. I had stepped out into the winter air with some friends, and I was carrying a lot of weight inside me. I had struggling with back issues. I had bursitis. I wasn't sleeping well. I was really a mess. And a year before that, I had said yes to Juice Plus. And with the one simple change, I started moving more. That's why I was on the hiking walk where that picture was taken. And I want to remind you that transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's a step-by-step climb. It's every small decision can lead to a better, brighter, healthier future. I'm just so grateful of where I am now, and I can't wait to see where I'm going next. Jennifer had mentioned I would talk about omegas. This
Yes.
little, can you see it?
Yeah.
There's, is it nitrogen that's in the top, Jen?
Yeah.
Okay. So I take one of these. More recently, I do it in the morning before I do my exercise workout, so it has a chance to absorb in before I put my foundation on. But I just bite it and open it and put it on my face and rub it in, and away you go. It is making my skin softer and healthier. And when I took this, it was a menopause thing. So the 3 years ago picture, it was a quieter battle inside of me. I had had hysterectomy in my early 20s. And it seems like it was a decade of roller coaster menopause stuff that was going on. And with this community, we have a lovely woman named Liana, and she decided to do a Zoom talk about menopause because that's her thing. That's what she's an expert in. And I thought, well, I'm gonna go because like hot flashes and all that stuff, and the body breaking down, and I was feeling not myself. I was depressed. And I thought, well, that's not me. I'm a strong person. I've been the rock. I've been the go-to for everybody, right? And I've always been positive or tried to be positive, and I couldn't figure out why I was feeling the way I was feeling, and she opened my eyes.
Mm.
That's one of the side effects of menopause, depression. Oh, who knew? Um, so she explained how it's natural to do that. That is natural, and it's we just have to gift ourselves the space, and the space is here, and the tapestry of voices, and the amount of people in this community that have all these different credentials behind them, the education that they provide. I think we all should be certified after we go through all of these these things on
Yeah.
nutrition. Really, I don't have the numbers behind me, but I have somebody I can reach out to if then, like Jennifer, she's got the stuff that she has, and there's doctors and nurses, and I'm just blown away by the community and the help and how far I've come in the 4 years since I'm actually going on 5 years, I guess, this year. It's just I'm running, I'm jogging, I'm doing jumping jacks, I'm bringing my groceries in. There was a point 3 years ago in just that summer that my body really broke down, and I could barely walk up my back stairs.
Right.
It's like, and it's just been the one simple change at a time. And I never thought I would be where I'm at today, feeling 40 in a 62-year-old body that's moving like a 40-year-old. Like I can't believe I'm the age I am because I don't feel that age, right? So it's doable, but it's not overnight. It's one simple change, and adding those nutrients and trusting my friend, my nurse friend, that this was it. And I didn't even look at the research, Jennifer. I just trusted Anna, right? So, all right, I'm going to do it. We'll see what happens. About 8 months in after doing it, I'm a school bus driver. I got sick every time. Yeah, 2 weeks after school started, all the kids started leaving. Well, us bus drivers too. And Christmas time, because of all the sugar and sweets, you eat all that junk, you feed the bad bacteria in your belly, which, I've learned learned through the education. When you know, you know. And at the beginning, I didn't know, but I know so much more now. And it's way easier to make the choices when you know.
Right. Well, thank you for sharing that, Zelda. And you know what? I think that if I could just leave, people with this thought that, Juice Plus really helps to maximize our efforts with this one simple change, with this mastering the art of health. It's a journey to help yourself get the full spectrum of nutrition from plant powders, our omegas and our shakes, our Illuminate and our cacao. If you follow Zelda, you know that she's always posting about her cacao and her Illuminate. I mean, and she's one busy woman, you guys know. I'm inspired by you, Zelda, and I don't think your name is by accident. You truly live, with a zest for life, and are a wonderful reminder, to put effort into, how you're feeling every day because it does make a difference. And I really am grateful that you shared your story tonight because, there's a lot of people who need to hear your message, and so I'm glad that we recorded this and that
Yeah.
it was a nice, clean copy. So, with that. I want to encourage you all to reach out the person who invited you to be here and or shared this video with you, and they can tell you a little bit more about the Juiceless product line. I don't want to keep you any longer here, but thank you so much, Zelda, for being here. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. If you're interested in the recording, I think that this is a good one to share. So blessings to you all. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.